Archangel Michael declares, this very evening, on the special day for you today, a sacred and treasured gift draws near to your existence in stillness. Mere moments before the day turns, at the precise instant of 11:59 in the night, the celestial realms have inscribed your identity upon a grant of favor destined for your earthly account. Not in the coming dawn, nor in the week that follows, but in the watches of this night. If your gaze is upon these words at this very second, you are not behind schedule. You are positioned perfectly for a wonder that logic cannot unravel, only belief can embrace. Speak Amen to seal this holy moment in the Spirit. Do not continue scrolling. Do not quiet the voice within you now. For what is poised for liberation was secured in the divine treasury, awaiting your faithful agreement to summon it forth. You have endured strain. You have wept in hidden spaces where no eye witnessed. You have questioned the weight your shoulders could still bear. And yet, you refused to let go. That trust you clutched through the tempest. It was not overlooked. It was meticulously tallied. And the heavens now answer with a sudden financial reversal that defies all worldly reasoning. Before you proceed, if this resonates within your soul already, if a stirring in your chest feels truth swelling like a tide, pause for an instant and express your favor upon this video. Not from obligation, but from a place of conviction, honoring where honor is deserved. This act of alignment readies your spirit to wholly accept what is being dispatched from the kingdom this night. The Lord has witnessed every overdue invoice, every tear spilled behind sealed doors, every restless hour spent questioning survival in a world that seemed to neglect you. But God did not forget. Heaven did not disregard your anguish. You are His own. Selected. Shielded. And tonight, a divine adjustment is activating in your name. A supernatural supply will descend like a shower. Not in some distant future, but this very night. Comment 111 if you trust in holy synchronization. It will not be arbitrary. It will not be insignificant. And it will not arrive with grief. This blessing is consecrated. It carries the fragrance of God's approval and the imprint of His compassion. Your statement, once barren, will receive what your labor could not merit, your pleas could not secure, and your mind could not comprehend. You will awaken to find emptiness transformed into fullness, not by your striving, but by His decree. This is not happenstance. This is a covenant unfolding before your sight. There is purpose in your season of concealment, your preservation, your protection while others advanced. There is meaning in the doors that sealed shut when you were sure they should swing wide. All of it was a sacred postponement, not a rejection. So that when your breakthrough manifests, no human hand can claim the glory. Only God can. And He most assuredly will. For the Lord is not tardy in fulfilling His word, as some perceive tardiness. He is precise. He is deliberate. And He is punctual. Without exception. The angelic hosts have already taken their posts. The heavenly ledgers bearing your name have been audited, and the scrolls recording your tears have been recited before the throne. What the adversary sought to pilfer, to obstruct, to stifle has now been overturned by supreme divine authority. Comment 222, if you confess that God reigns over every force that attempted to ruin you. You stand at the precipice of a wealth so immediate, so exact, that even your opponents will halt. They will question how you advanced with such speed. How you transitioned from desert to deluge in a single flutter of heaven's eyelid. But you will know. It was not a person, not a position, not your own might. It was God. Jehovah Jireh, the source. And tonight He does not murmur. He proclaims over you, enough. Now is the moment to satisfy every deficiency and calm every squall. There is an individual reading this who had nearly surrendered. You were a breath away from releasing your last hope. But even now, tranquility is being flooded into your heart and your hands are being uplifted by invisible angels. You need not understand the method. You need not perceive the pathway. You need only to believe. That is the sole gateway God asks you to unbolt, the gateway of faith. For through it, he will cascade blessings for which you have not space enough to hold. You may have been ridiculed for envisioning grandly. You may have been counseled to adopt realism. But you were never crafted for mediocrity. You were summoned to be a living exhibit of God's miraculous strength when poured into a surrendered spirit. That is why he has elected to unveil this favor in a manner no one anticipated. A silent instant. A midnight hinge. A digital alert that will bring you to weeping. An account that suddenly mirrors heaven's affirmation. If you perceive this is for you, do not dismiss it. This is not empty excitement. This is not random luck. It is a divine encounter. And you are being compelled in your spirit to not forfeit what is poised to arrive. Relinquish the fear. Dismiss the uncertainty. Let your heart ascend in trust, for what approaches is pure, holy, and irrevocable. God has deemed you worthy of blessing not due to your deeds, but because of your identity, his cherished child. You are encircled. Guarded. Favored beyond human rationale. Every assault launched against your finances is now being inverted. What you forfeited in unseen wars will be restored in the open. What they scorned will become your declaration. And you will stand before others not in arrogance, but in reverence, whispering the only phrase that will hold meaning: God accomplished this. God alone. Comment 333, to affirm your trust in what the Lord is enacting at this very hour. Can merely uttering 9 words each day genuinely cause prosperity to stream into your existence? A leading neuroscientist affirms it, and an FBI disclosure inadvertently validated it. This overlooked prayer is now transmuting everyday individuals into lives free from debt and financial constraint. But this concealed knowledge will not remain accessible indefinitely. Click the link in the description and comments now to obtain it before it is erased permanently. He is not concluded. He is merely commencing. And tonight at 11:59 p.m., the heavens will affirm it in a dialect your spirit comprehends: abundance. The variety that shatters shackles. That nourishes lineages. That alters legacies. That cancels obligations and unlocks destinies. The variety of abundance that mutes fear because you will truly know, to your core, who your Father is. Your presence here is not accidental. The timing of your eyes encountering this message is proof that God is synchronizing every fragment of your life for a purpose far surpassing your prior experience. The hardship did not shatter you. The waiting did not demolish you. Indeed, it safeguarded you for this appointed hour. You were not missed. You were being fashioned. And now heaven has decreed the delay is concluded. When the world attempted to brand you forgotten, God was naming you chosen. When your bank statement displayed emptiness, your spiritual account in the heavens was being stocked with pledges. Pledges issued not by humankind but by the architect of all creation. And tonight, one of those pledges materializes directly before your gaze. This is not fortune. This is a celestial exchange, a miracle endorsed and secured with divine mandate. Some will not grasp how it occurred. They will claim it is irrational. And they are correct. It holds no sense within the earthly domain, for this kind of transformation does not originate in this world. It emanates from God's kingdom where your name was recorded in the eternal registry, where your laments were heard, and where your faithfulness was observed. Tonight, that faithfulness receives its reward. You have sown seeds in trust when your hands were bare. You have offered your final portion, petitioned with your deepest fervor, and believed when the world advised surrender. And heaven witnessed it all. Every tear you shed transformed into a seed. Every prayer you breathed became a key. And tonight, those keys unlock the treasury inscribed with your name. Comment 12:12 if you perceive your season has arrived. God does not deal in partial blessings. When He acts in totality. This is why this financial reversal will not merely alter your week, it will redefine your future. It will erase debts you believed you would carry to the grave. It will recover what was taken unjustly. It will provide in such a manner that you will become a channel of blessing to others, not from your surplus, but from your sacred commissioning. Even now, angels traverse dimensions, aligning directives. Your name has been uttered in realms your feet have never tread. Portals are opening not merely for income, but for authority, for effect, for transgenerational change. This is not a deposit. This is an outpouring. And it will serve as confirmation that your season of mere survival is terminating. A new chapter of divine supply is initiating. You have inquired of God previously, when will my moment come? And God now responds with this: tonight at 11:59 p.m., the heavens will answer in a language you can witness, a shift in your balance, an alert, a provision that stuns the system. But beyond that, your soul will sense it. You will feel peace descend over your being like a mantle. You will feel the Holy Presence confirming that the waiting was not futile. Comment 777, if you are prepared to accept what God is releasing. And when it arrives, give glory. Do not conceal it. Do not dread it. Walk within it. For this blessing is not bestowed to inflate your ego. It is given to elevate your calling. You will not only be blessed, you will be entrusted. Entrusted with greater capacity. Entrusted with missions. Entrusted with souls who are quietly fighting battles you have already overcome. For God does not elevate you without placing upon you a mantle to lift others. Let no uncertainty infiltrate now. The enemy quakes because he understands the significance of this shift. He knows that once you step into this favor, you step out of his snare. He knows that once you possess more than enough, you become dangerous, not with arms, but with benevolence, with faith, with the capacity to finance vision and carry light into spaces drowning in shadow. You are a warrior not only in spirit but in legacy. God is constructing through you something that will outlive you. Your name will become a testament that faith functions, that prayer relocates mountains, that obedience attracts favor. You will no longer be mocked for believing. You will be marveled at, not because of you, but because of the God who dwells within you. You are not the casualty. You are the conduit. And tonight the anointing oil begins to flow. Fresh oil. Oil that fractures the yoke of poverty. Oil that saturates your palms with heavenly strategies and multiplies all you contact. Oil that silences every falsehood declared over your life. You are stepping into overflow not merely to possess more, but to accomplish more. To bless, to build, to become. There are individuals linked to your obedience who do not yet realize their blessing will arrive through you. That is why you could not quit. That is why the adversary contested you so fiercely. Because your yes to God would unseal favor for multitudes. And tonight, as your account transforms, your purpose is ratified. The fire you traversed was not to consume you. It was to purify you. God remains unchanged. The one who divided the sea, who fed the thousands, who raised the lifeless, he has not altered. And that identical power is active in your life tonight. He still provides. He still restores. He still moves. And at 11:59 p.m., he will demonstrate it once more. Comment 999, if you believe your miracle has already commenced. Why are 55 nations utilizing the same enigmatic financial incantation? Because a leaked research dossier just revealed a 9-word sequence that activates prosperity-attracting neural pathways. Repeat it daily and observe resources flow like a river into your existence. But authorities may remove this secret at any instant. Click the link in the description and comments before it is erased for all time. This is not your conclusion. It is the dawn of a supernatural reversal. Your heart will recognize it. Your spirit will jump. And your hands will soon grasp the evidence of a God who forever honors his pledges. Rest now, not in anxiety but in anticipation. Heaven is not speculating. Heaven is responding. And you, my beloved, are about to witness why the wait was so prolonged, because the reward is so magnificent. Heaven has not forgotten the debt you could not settle, the obligation you could not meet, the aid you required but no one offered. God observed it all. And now, from the place where mercy pours and grace is boundless, your name is being summoned. This is the night your finances are made whole. This is the hour scarcity begins to kneel. This is the moment the divine vault swings wide and the miraculous enters your life without justification. You were destined to hear this. You were destined to understand that everything you lost is being reinstated. But not merely reinstated, multiplied. God never returns to the original condition. He expands far beyond it. What the enemy stripped from you, mocked you for, and wielded as a weapon of despair, God is now employing as the footing of your restoration. You are being reintroduced to the world not as one who fractured, but as one whom heaven assembled in secrecy. This financial shift is not random. It has been inscribed. The timing is not an estimate. It is prophecy. At 11:59 p.m. tonight, an impossibility will occur. You will receive a financial jolt, not from penalty, but as a prize. You have endured the trials. You have honored the Lord in famine. And now your harvest is ripe. You are not stepping into coincidence. You are stepping into divine certainty. You are loved beyond quantification. Every restriction you've carried is now becoming your launch pad. And I tell you, the vault in heaven bearing your name is opening, not merely to cover expenses or endure the month, but to shift your entire existence into a dimension of supernatural overflow. You will awaken altered. The burden will dissipate. The anxiety will fracture. The joy will rekindle. And your hands will no longer be void. Comment 1515 if you are prepared to walk into this release with courage. Many around you will not comprehend what is occurring, but that is permissible. Miracles are frequently misconstrued by those who do not walk in faith. You are not like the rest. You were not summoned to conform to average. You were not called to merely scrape by. You were fashioned to exhibit God's majesty. And this blessing, this breakthrough arriving tonight, is part of that exhibition. There is a sacred potency in midnight. It is when God operates unseen, beyond human reckoning. You must not treat this instant lightly. It is not simply another evening. It is a prophetic crossroads between your past journey and your destined path. Tonight is hallowed. The angels are already in motion. The Spirit of God is preparing your name for a financial miracle that will bring you to your knees in awe. The moment you said, yes, to believing, the moment you chose not to abandon, heaven received it as a decree. You may not have witnessed immediate results, but a process initiated behind the veil. And now the fruit of your unseen faith is about to become visible. You are not tardy. You are precisely on schedule for this wonder. At this very second, heaven is aligning your life with holy fulfillment. This is not hype. This is holiness. Your belief is unlocking portals of plenty. Your willingness to hope again is demolishing walls of limitation. You have wondered how long the waiting must last. The answer is, no longer. The wait concludes tonight. Not with a whisper, but with a divine declaration. At 11:59 p.m., your account will mirror what your spirit has already known: God provides. You have watched others receive blessing and questioned when your turn would come. Now it has arrived. The identical God who elevated them is elevating you. The same hands that carved a path through the sea are now lifting your name into divine remembrance. This is not merely provision, it is restoration. This is not merely currency, it is a sign that you are remembered, beloved, favored, and selected for this specific hour. Comment 1717 if you are claiming what God has reserved for you tonight. You will not conclude this year in need. You will not bear this load much longer. What required years to accumulate will require mere moments for God to release. You need not strain for it. You need only to accept it. This shift is not about earning. It is about yielding. Let the fear drop. Let the pressure dissolve. God's will is not a weight. It is a gift. And it is coming directly into your possession. I perceive supply advancing swiftly. Not merely digital figures in an account, but opportunities you did not pursue. Individuals you've never met devising ways to favor you. Unexpected reimbursements, old debts repaid, hands of generosity outstretched. That is the appearance of divine favor. It transcends logic. And tonight it locates you. You will sense it deep within. A serenity. A quiet assurance. That is God's voice affirming His sovereignty. That you were never forgotten. That the storm did not prevail. That midnight is not merely a clock reading, it is the gateway to a new existence, a new supply, a new current of miracles. Do not expend your energy on doubt. Direct it into praise. For praise pulls down what fear repels. Elevate your heart in worship. Thank Him before it manifests. Because in heaven, it is already accomplished. You are merely awaiting the earthly manifestation. And tonight you will behold it. What covert discovery did authorities conceal regarding your mind and wealth? They identified a phrase, merely 9 words in length, that triggers a switch within your consciousness to attract resources effortlessly. It has already transformed thousands of lives within weeks. If you are viewing this, you are fortunate. This page may vanish at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to learn this secret before it is permanently deleted. Everything you have been prepared for, envisioned, hoped to experience, it approaches in surges. And the first surge strikes at 11:59 p.m. Do not resist it. Welcome it. Stand firm in the miracle. Declare it audibly. Walk as though it is already reality. Because in God's dimension, it is. You are accelerating toward the blessing. The blessing is not chasing you. You are not viewing this by accident. You are guided here by divine navigation, led not by coincidence, but by the Spirit of the living God, who is resolved to see you ascend above every shadow that once claimed your joy. You have fought silent battles. You have worn public smiles while your heart trembled privately. But God was watching, and now He is answering. He is the God who sees. Your heavenly account has reached its fullness. The seeds you planted in faith, the kindness you demonstrated while in lack, the moments you chose prayer over panic, all have been documented. Heaven does not forget. And tonight, those accounts are being settled. God does not merely dispense what is fair. He dispenses what is overflowing. Pressed down, shaken together, and spilling over, that is what your midnight contains. You have been faithful with little. You have wept through nights where hope seemed faint. But the heavens have been inscribing your name into divine blueprints for elevation. And the moment of release is not tomorrow. It is tonight. At the stroke of midnight, your name will resonate in the spiritual realm. What you were told was impossible will abruptly become visible. The balance you dreaded will be replaced by the breakthrough you implored. Comment 111 if you believe this is divine timing aligning specifically for you. There is no space for fear now. You have already survived more than most realize. The financial assaults, the emotional drains, the spiritual conflicts, they were all attempts to halt this precise moment. But you have arrived here. That alone is a miracle. And for those who emerge from the fire, God always holds a reward commensurate with their battle's intensity. Yours is here. This blessing is not minor. It is not a temporary respite. It is a proclamation from heaven that you are not destined to merely cope. You are destined to walk in divine favor. God did not call you to agonize over every statement. He did not design you to panic over provision. You were meant to walk in confidence, to know your Father owns all and lacks nothing. And tonight, He reveals Himself as Jehovah Jireh, the Lord your provider. What is about to appear in your account is not merely currency. It is validation. Validation that faith relocates mountains. Validation that God answers those who persist in belief when every circumstance shouts the contrary. Validation that you were never forsaken, never ignored. Validation that your breakthrough's timeline was established before you were formed in the womb. Comment 222, if you trust that what approaches can originate only from God. You will not need to explain it. You will not need to persuade anyone. When the miracle lands, it will speak for itself. It will announce your favor. It will silence every scornful voice. Those who doubted you, who dismissed your potential, will be compelled to witness God elevating you beyond their imagination. And it will not be vengeance. It will be revelation, that God is with you. Release the thoughts insisting you are unprepared. You are prepared. God would not release it if you were not. You have matured in silence. You have been refined in trials. You have learned to trust when you possessed nothing but hope. And that hope has created capacity for a miracle bearing God's signature. Tonight, you will begin to inhabit what you once only dreamed. At 11:59 p.m., an event will transpire. A transaction. A reversal. An alert. A heavenly signal stating, heaven has remembered you. And when it does, inhale deeply. Accept it completely. Praise God openly. For this is not merely a present. It is a fulfillment. A confirmation that what God initiates, He always completes. There is something supernatural about this hour. It is the same hour Paul and Silas praised their way to freedom. The same hour the Israelites saw the sea part. The same hour Jesus prayed in Gethsemane. Midnight is not merely a time. It is a turning point. And for you, it will be the instant everything begins to change. Abruptly. Swiftly. And sovereignly. Comment 333, to declare your faith over this hour of sudden blessing. You will feel a peace unfamiliar for years. You will sleep differently tonight. Not because every issue is resolved, but because you will know, deep in your bones, that God is in command and already handling what once stole your rest. Your sleep will be a prophecy. A silent trust. And upon waking, you will witness what faithfulness has constructed. Do not measure this miracle by your understanding. You cannot compute heaven's generosity. God does not bless according to formulas. He blesses according to favor. And tonight you are favored. You are set apart. You are the one toward whom heaven leans. The one for whom angels mobilize. The one whose name is spoken in realms you have not yet entered. You have petitioned for overflow. Now it arrives. Not because you pursued it, but because you pursued God. And He, being the perfect Father, has elected to astonish you with something so vast you will weep with joy. Your hands will tremble. Your eyes will widen. And your heart will overflow with worship. You may not yet see it, but I assure you it is en route. The shift does not approach with thunder. It approaches in quietness, but its impact will reverberate for generations. One click. One unforeseen transaction. One deposit. One blessing. That is all God requires to demonstrate His timing is always flawless. This is not the outcome of a business tactic. This is the result of divine favor. You did not chase this. You were selected for it. Is it feasible to attract wealth by simply vocalizing certain miraculous words? This 9-word sequence, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience laboratories, proves you absolutely can. Individuals are applying it from their homes and reporting unexpected deposits, cleared debts, and elevated lives. It requires less than half a minute. But this secret will not remain online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it is permanently erased. God is rewriting your financial narrative tonight. Where lack once resided, overflow will dwell. Where anxiety reigned, peace will preside. Where fear governed, faith will rule. This is not a rescue. This is a reset. Your life is being recalibrated from heaven's throne. The world declared your story finished. But God says, now observe what I accomplish with the one they disregarded. Everything that was withheld is now being dispatched. The dam is fracturing. Not a drip, but a deluge. Your obedience has summoned this miracle. You did not bow to pressure. You did not trade your soul for survival. You waited upon the Lord, and now He rewards you openly for what you clung to privately. Heaven is not late. Heaven is exact. Comment 12:12 if you know heaven's precision is operating for your benefit. You were not created for struggle. You were not meant to expend your days surviving. You were formed in love, designed for abundance, and anointed to prosper. God did not guide you this far to abandon you in need. Every empty season you walked through was a preparation for this overflowing miracle. The pain you endured became the soil for this holy harvest. You are receiving this not because of luck. You are receiving it because of legacy. God is preserving your name, restoring your dignity, and preparing your lineage to walk in generational liberty. You are the inception of what your forebears petitioned for. You are the living proof that curses fracture, chains collapse, and poverty is not permanent when heaven intervenes. Tonight at 11:59 p.m., something will be unleashed so rapidly that your past will no longer recognize you. You will transition from obligation to destiny, from burden to blessing, from weeping in darkness to rejoicing in light. The supernatural hand of God rests upon your story. No person can seal what God has opened. No system can hinder what heaven has inscribed. You must believe, not merely with your intellect, but with your spirit. Faith is the currency of miracles. It transforms the invisible into reality. And your faith has been tested sufficiently. Now it will be rewarded. This is not theory. This is your prophecy. You are entering a season of divine surprises. You will not foresee their coming, but upon arrival, you will know precisely their origin. Comment 777 if you are prepared to live the kind of life only God could design. There is a stillness within your soul you cannot presently explain. That is not mere calm. That is confirmation. Heaven is marking your name. Your life is shifting realms. The earthly limitations that sought to confine you are being erased. You were born to overflow. And now the moment has arrived for the river to rise and flood every parched place in your life. Relinquish your self-imposed timelines. Release the pressure. God's plan is not built upon your deadlines. It is built upon His perfect alignment. And that alignment occurs tonight. At 11:59 p.m., you will experience the exact instant heaven declares, now. Not almost. Not later. Now. You will be the living testimony that even at the final minute, God manifests in full power. You may have been laughed at. Ignored. Diminished. But God has been constructing you in silence. This miracle will be loud, not in volume, but in impact. The very ones who questioned your faith will witness your elevation. And when they inquire how, you will not boast. You will point heavenward and state, "This is what my God accomplishes." You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not too much. You are precisely on time for all God has ordained for you. The weight departing your shoulders tonight will be replaced by a crown of favor. The hands that once shook in fear will now hold blessings with certainty. Comment 999 to seal this moment in your spirit. The financial breakthrough is merely the commencement. It is the sign that more approaches. Open doors. Restored relationships. Mental peace. Divine connections. God never releases one item. He releases in waves. And this first wave is to capture your attention, to declare, "I remain here. I have always been here." Breathe, beloved. The struggle is passing. The season of insufficiency is concluding. God is about to demonstrate what it resembles to dwell beneath open heavens. You will not need to force anything. You will not need to plead for support. God Himself will precede you, straighten the crooked path, and usher you into rooms prepared for you before your birth. I speak now with urgency, not fear. Because when heaven moves with this velocity, the spirit must be fully alert. You stand at the edge of breakthrough with 1 minute separating your past from your future. Every spiritual conflict, every season of drought, every loss you could not explain, they were never wasted. They were preparation for the midnight miracle that will flood your life tonight. This is not fantasy. This is faith fulfilled. God does not taunt his children. He prepares them. He stretches them. He disciplines them in love, but always with reward awaiting. You have been tested. Now you will be entrusted. Entrusted with increase. Entrusted with assignments. Entrusted with doors that open not by connection, but by covenant. And covenant always prevails. Could your own mind be the obstacle keeping you in lack? Scientists have just confirmed that a 9-word sentence buried deep in your subconscious may be obstructing wealth from your life. But now you can reverse it. Speak these 9 words and prosperity begins to pursue you starting today. But authorities may remove this secret at any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it is deleted forever. Your bank account will be the initial place you observe it, a transaction you did not anticipate. A blessing arriving without condition. But it is not about the figure. It is about the message, I am the Lord who provides. That is what God is communicating to you. You have searched elsewhere long enough. Now you will look to him, and he will not fail you. Comment 11:11 if you believe something divine is aligning specifically for you. Some of you sit in homes where the light remained on only by grace. Some restrain tears under the weight of bills and responsibilities juggled in silence. But be reminded, God is not blind. He is not distant. He is not ignoring your need. In truth, he is nearer now than ever. His hand is already extended. His voice is already speaking favor over your life. You are chosen. Not due to perfection, but due to purpose. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And you, beloved, have been called into a dimension of provision that transcends salary, beyond human aid, beyond what any credit score could justify. Heaven does not employ human systems. Heaven employs faith. The midnight hour will denote the end of your wilderness. Your name will move from the rear to the forefront. You will no longer be the one praying merely to survive. You will become the one others pray to discover. Because when God blesses, he does it in such a way that others are drawn not to you, but to him through you. Comment 222 if you trust that God's hand is over your finances at this moment. This is not prosperity without purpose. This is abundance with assignment. You are being summoned into overflow, not to hoard, but to pour out. To rebuild what was demolished. To extend hands to those now standing where you once stood. That is why this blessing approaches. Not because you begged, but because God observed your heart when you gave, even from your lack. You are a vessel. And a vessel cannot pour if it is empty. That is why tonight's release is critical. God is about to fill you, not merely financially, but spiritually. Emotionally, and mentally. You will arise tomorrow with clarity. With inspired concepts. With divine confidence that silences the voice of lack forever. When others claimed it was not your time, heaven said, observe me. When they laughed at your belief, heaven said, mark this moment. And now the moment has arrived. 11:59 p.m. is not merely a timestamp. It is a spiritual gate. A portal through which your next season enters. Step through it with faith. With praise. With open hands. There are things God has intentionally restrained, not to harm you, but to protect you. He desired to ensure that when the increase came, your heart would not stray. And now he perceives you are ready. You have been purified by trials. Fortified by storms. You have learned to worship while waiting. And that renders this hour so holy. Comment 333 to declare your readiness for this holy release. No weapon forged against your finances will prosper. Every curse spoken over your name, every word of limitation, every act of jealousy, every spiritual force that attempted to delay your advancement is being shattered now by heaven's authority. God is not only providing. He is protecting. You are walking into wealth with wisdom. Into blessings with boundaries. Into increase with humility. You will not misuse what approaches. You will honor it, steward it, and multiply it for His glory. And because of that, the release will not be small. It will be enduring. It will be generational. It will be sacred. This shift is not a suggestion. It is a command. The Lord has spoken abundance over you. And when He speaks, creation obeys. When He commands, the earth responds. Even now, your bank account is being remembered in heaven's treasury. It has been dry, perhaps forgotten by others, but not by God. He knows your need before you ask. And tonight, He is not merely meeting your need, He is surpassing it. You have endured seasons where giving felt painful, yet you still gave. You have clung to hope as if it were your final breath. You have interceded for others, prayed for those who abandoned you, and persisted in belief when no physical evidence of change existed. And now the Father who witnessed it all is bringing you into a new place, a place of holy reward. The release coming tonight is not merely about numbers. It is about restoration. It is about God publicly honoring what you carried privately. What others could not see, God did. What others mocked, heaven multiplied. You are not merely receiving provision, you are stepping into prophecy. And when prophecy touches earth, nothing remains unchanged. Comment 15:15 if you know this word is being fulfilled over your life. The pain you walked through was not wasted. The tears you cried in silence were never ignored. They became prayers. Prayers became seeds. And now those seeds break through the soil of delay to yield a harvest only God could cultivate. You did not force this miracle. You positioned your heart for it. And that is why it arrives. Not rushed. Not delayed. But precisely on time. God is not merely releasing money. He is releasing momentum. Divine momentum that will pull you from debt, from stagnation, from limited thinking. He is elevating you into rooms you never applied to enter, circles you never imagined joining, territories you deemed yourself unqualified to walk. But grace qualifies what man disqualifies. Why did 19,583 individuals suddenly achieve financial liberty last month? They all discovered a peculiar 9-word sentence buried in neuroscience research and once concealed by authorities. Now they are eliminating debt, traveling globally, and inhabiting homes they never thought attainable. If you are viewing this, you are fortunate. This page may vanish at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to learn this secret before it is deleted forever. Tonight's financial release is merely the beginning. It is the gateway, not the destination. Through it, you will begin to witness patterns fracture, patterns of lack, of instability, of near successes that always crumbled at the edge of breakthrough. No more almost. No more not yet. This is the season of suddenly. And suddenly, circumstances will turn. You will sense it when it occurs. A weight will lift. A peace will descend. Something internal will whisper, it has commenced. And from that moment forward, everything alters. Your expectations. Your mindset. Your capacity to believe for more. Because once you witness what God can accomplish in a minute, you will cease fearing what hasn't occurred in a year. Comment 1717 if you are stepping into this moment of divine overflow. Many will question it. They will ask how it happened. And you will tell them, I did not force it. I simply trusted God. You will not owe them an explanation. You will owe God only your praise, for what is about to impact your life is a display of His love, not your effort. It is a reflection of your faith, not your hustle. This is your testimony in motion. You will not need to rehearse it. It will speak through your peace, your joy, your stability. Others will notice the radiance. Not merely the glow of answered prayer, but the glow of divine favor that cannot be counterfeited. You have worn the garments of endurance long enough. Now you will wear the robe of overflow. At 11:59 p.m. tonight, heaven will mark the turning point in your financial story. You will not view your bank account with dread. You will not count coins and calculate survival. You will look upon it and see what God can accomplish when a heart is fully surrendered. He is bringing you from the desert into the land of enough, more than enough, and abundance for others. You will not forget the days of struggle, but you will no longer dwell in them. They will become reminders, not realities. Testimonies, not torments. Proof of how far you have come and how faithful your God truly is. Every lack you endured is now being compensated, not by man, but by heaven's economy. Comment 999 if you are claiming complete restoration tonight. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to retreat. This is the moment to stretch your faith, to say, yes, in your spirit, and to prepare your hands to receive. What approaches is not due to human generosity. It is due to heaven's decree. And when heaven decrees, nothing can interfere. Tonight, the midnight oil burns over your life. Angels are stationed. Doors are opening. And the vaults of heaven are pouring out upon your name. There is nothing more you must do now. But believe. Believe with the same passion you used to weep. With the same persistence you used to pray. And with the same tenderness you used to hope when nothing made sense. The shift coming tonight is distinct. It is not temporary relief. It is permanent repositioning. What once required years will now require weeks. What once exhausted you will now feel light. Why? Because God is replacing toil with favor. He is replacing confusion with clarity. The places you once wept will now resonate with joy. Comment 111 if you feel this assurance already entering your atmosphere.